Welcome to the Rift, guys, for game 1 of our series. Our final night's rival game. Crowd has it from here for a moment or two.
10秒到达战场，碾碎他们。 全军出击！
要杀你的人不是我，是他。
Not too much of the level 1 climber with the late blast cone. Oops. That's a big fan vote towards JDG. Both junglers starting on their bot side of the map and we pathing top. So, bit of initial trading down bot side doesn't lead to all that much. Worth noting, actually, YCX has gone towards the Aftershock this game and not the Spellbook. We were kind of talking about, yeah, there are a few games where it feels like Nautilus have just defaulted into Spellbook when really the Aftershock would have provided some value. Like right here, Sean does not have the Spellbook, or has the Spellbook and doesn't have the Aftershock. Yeah, that one's going to sting. Flash and heal down, Jaws going well out. Zyra Khan can be very dominant if they get to use their abilities well in the early game. You've got extended W trades from the Zyra, all those kinds of things, but get hit by a hook as the bird there, and it can be really, really, really unfun. Couldn't stick around for Gleaming Quill. Healing. All goes a little wrong there. I just selfishly want the winner to look shaky. TFC, why possibly could you say that? Who on earth would they be going up against next? Scout needs a bit of damage, but does get the wave shoved. Ward there is doing a fair amount to spot off stuff. Oh, no, stream feed frozen. I'm thinking, wow, we're focusing on this Ward a lot. Give it a second, guys. Audio will return, and then so will we. Hang on. We're still here. Just waiting for the clean feed to return. There's the audio. Where's the game? As a hook lands, good grief. And there is the chunk onto YCX. This time the punish back is good from Pays. YCX burns the heal. Saviour's not able to get the damage down. Worth noting, actually, Saviour's gone towards exhaust this game for the 1v1s. Good for trading up against Rise, Rumble, Zaya. Do like to go through fairly significant trades. Or burst, really. It normally needs an auto, a bit of a rotation or two completed. Sassy, eat an electro harpoon or two. really led to all that much in the early game, has it? No real ganks, no real plays for any very, very early objectives. The bot lanes have now switched, climbs around. Aggressively do want to play this. Climate gets into the pixel bush. Shun also around to check the picture-in-picture. Here he goes. Gets the flag and drag in, but that's not going to be enough to keep Joe alive. The triple feather pull. Roots up all three, but it is not enough to find revenge for Joe, who gets hit by the hook into the flag and drag and goes down. Be back out on the map relatively shortly here with the teleport. Switch straight over to it. First blood goes the way of Savior. Lane shoved him. Good morning, Brack. Good to see you, my friend. QW off vision. Climber did start up the dragon, but there is the wall in the back of the pit. Will he care? Alright, junglers, you all saw that, right? You move into the banana bush to pull the dragon in the right location. Remember to do that. Scout gets the room prism. Oh, wonderful taunt XQW. Turnaround hook onto Jaw. It's got aftershock procced. Doesn't lead to all that much, but I just want to say very nice taunt. Shun now coming on over. May want to try and steal this. Down to 1600 HP. Keeper's verdict knocks one away. Realm Warp in and Climbers are going to be forced back off this. They did switch the bot lane down for that, worth noting. So the wave up top side is going to go missing. Which I know is a little ironic considering he's no longer playing for JDG. Thorn onto pace. Doesn't really get that threatened by it. Equalizer bot side to force the wave in. Chow shoot in the danger zone but not fully overheated. Grub's now spawning in 10 seconds. LGD a little slow on these resets. Aren't going to be there to contest properly. Though it is worth noting, as we said, that there was a wave lost topside for that play. But even so, it is JDG solo laners that are up about a wave right now. Despite the overload for Dragon. Start the grubs now. Ults. In terms of the equalizer, Poppy ult, Realm Warp down. Hook through the knockup. Well played by YTX. Cataclysm buys some time. Exhaust comes on down, and that means that XQW gets the kill onto Scout. Climber over the wall. Shun tries to buy some space, but they go playing that without really having that many ultimates. They lose another member. Double flashes off Scout and Pays. LGD strike back in terms of the objectives. JDG, that one was greedy for me. Maybe take a grub and get out, but I think the full fight when you were going to be down a lot of ultimates was bold to say the least. We're going to get a replay here in a second, I suspect, but honestly for me, YCX getting that hook through the grand entrance knock up to buffer through, really, really valuable. Watch this, Joe's going to try and body block, and a really, really good hook timing from YCX. Climber gets to the backside, means Pays is forced into a really difficult position, has to flash. Climber tries to flash and be tricky with the feathers, can't quite manage. It does just about survive the Shun. Gets over the wall with a heroic charge, but still going to be a dead rise. Still going to be a lot of summoners blown on Pays. And LGD come away from the early game with 3 kills from the grubs now. Leading the game by 700 or so gold. Important where that gold is as well. Savior, 2-0-1. The Lucian needed to be a threat. Well, guys, you've got it. Lucian will be a threat. Ambassador with the early Hex Drinker into double AP solo lanes. Would be smart. We'll delay things like the Eclipse, the Shojin. There you go. On top of that, slight CS leads for JDG in the solo lane is worth noting. Again, Xiaoshu has done a good job there. Culling chunk onto 2 in the mid lane. Morning, Katari. Good to see you. Just me today, I'm afraid, Katari. Alex taking the day off because his voice is a bit fried after 4 or 5 days of permanent broadcasting. Shall she be taunted? No, 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 no. I smell the elderberries. We already got a game, it's very nice. And other such Monty Python references. YCX gonna trade out here with the minions. But just wide. Nice dash away, sure. Battle dance is a hell of a thing. The question I am now asking myself is, when's Dragon realistically going to be starting to be set up for? LGD walks in to Joe, flash for the quickness, but the massive chunk onto Paze is a nightmare. Keeper's Verdict knocks one away, but Paze is caught inside the Cataclysm. No feather puller, and Climber just brings down Paze. Still didn't have the flash after the grubs. Want to set up around the objective. It's a brawl in mid lane that will still lead towards the Dragon being taken. Sassy trading with Scout, still has the Hex Drinker. YCX has got flash. Scout needs to be very careful here. They've not seen him resetting. Dragon should be taken by Climber here. Is there a smite on Jaw? No, there was not. Oh, interrupt on XQW, gets the taunt. The Winds of War. Phase rush out to safety. We'll delay the reset, actually, so we'll lose a bit of a wave topside for that. Scout's going up now. Won't be able to do too much in terms of taking turret positions. We'll look at this replay again. So Climber walks up. Oh, the hook goes wide, and that gives Jaw the opportunity to quickness on Climber and then try and get in. Actually missed the flag and drag for a second. Oh, no, it's just spectator delay. That's what it is. But Paze gets blasted. Sure, not quite in range. Get that much damage down, and the fact that the flag and drag came through the taunt, bit of a nightmare there for the side of LGD. Minute till Herald probably will be our next port of call. Worth noting, LGD, 2 of the early objectives are theirs, so if they get that Herald, they are the ones who get the feats of strength. When you're wanting to spike really hard at that 1 to 2 item mark, the extra bonus upgrade can be very valuable. Culling comes on down, Pace eats a lot of that damage. Chunked out before this Herald. Will likely lead to LGD starting that one up, at least being in control of it. XQW will use the sweep, but a spot up. The Xiaoxu was in the bush. Herald started. Shun is around. Paze going back mid lane. Will need to pick up that wave realistically before coming on over. Keeper's Verdict. Hooked. Will knock out the Nautilus. Down to 1700 HP. Still has the W. So they just get to pick up the Herald. Okay, good contest. Good Keeper's Verdict. Xiaoxu TP'd in for this. LGD's gonna give that one up. A little bit frustrating. They're the ones to the river first, but Shun with a good angle there for the keeper's verdict. It's a fair amount of value. Now I'm going to try and collapse topside. Potentially just drop the Herald and Overload here. Are they going to need to bother? I don't think they will. 3 grubs, but no Herald drop required for JDG. The grubs, of course, are largely LGD's way. You couldn't use them there is what I was trying to get at. Got a Realm Warp in. Knocked up on the flag and drag. Cataclysm comes on through. Scout flashes out. Sassy and XQW in the backside. The hero's entrance already haven't come through. But look where Scout is. Way too deep and goes down. Featherfall exhausted on the pace. He's to flash when he's been so slow. Culling will force the Featherstorm. Taunt after. Can't find the pull until he's already dead. LGD just skirmishing better. Overloading the defensive tools. JDG trying to make the proactive move, and it goes real wrong. They try to jump onto Climber. The hero's entrance, a public execution. And suddenly the team is way too split up. Flag and drag is interrupted this time by a really good grand entrance. You're thinking, okay, Climber can have a horrible time. But gets the Cataclysm off the Equalizer to safety. And then Sassy and XQW have already found their way into the backside. Will force actually another JDG member to retreat towards the river. But it's left Scout split off. And then Paige tries to come and defend. Gets exhausted, flashes away. And the exhaust value here is huge. Doesn't have the Feather Caller back up in time to really threaten. That's a multiple times now we've seen the Feathers go out and have no real way to pull them back to defend themselves on a retreat. LGD up 2,000 gold. Flash down on Pace and Scout again. We know ultimate either for Pace. Dragon's about to come up, and that probably is LGD with that feats of strength marker. Probably. Worth noting if the dragon is stolen because the first turret went the way of JDG. Could end up being theirs, but they need to steal it. Of course, Shunster's done a decent job of knocking key members away and contesting in the re-engage on the re-intake. Shun's going to drop Herald mid. A chunk, not too much more. Savvy comes up to clean it up. Sassy and Climber tasked with cleaning up this dragon. Public execution. Trading relatively well here. In comes the redemption. Should leave Xiaoshu relatively healthy. TP in from Rise. Hang on, everyone's coming in now. YCX going to be in danger as I think he is going to get burned down. Pace picks that one up. Xiaoshu still stepping on forwards. Gets a decent amount of speed. Flashing now on top of Climber. Flash from Shun looking for an engage. Flash out from Climber. Sassy has to backstep. That'll be turret, you would imagine, for JDG. Scout will turn up. Escort a wave onto this turret. XQW wasn't there. His top side will look to try and trade out on that top tier 1, but nice reactive play there from JDG. Hayes also getting a good wave into mid lane. This isn't bad from them, actually. TP out behind. Turret was secured. But they now need to... They're going to try and use the Zyra comeback. They've done it! They couldn't break the shield! Rakan started backing early, allowing Pace to stick around for longer because he can just tag along with the Rakan taxi ride back to base. Really elegant, that. Have a look at the replay. Because Zhu's going to start resetting now. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, back to life, never mind. Public execution on top of Pays! Heal, redemption, room prison. Sassy does manage to slide away on one side. TW needs to flash on the other. Savior caught the equalizer. Isn't doing all that much value. Depth charge onto Scout to stop him chasing on to his Lucian. But this time there's enough tools to keep Pays alive. Sassy room prison. Scout beginning to unload. And Xiaoshu burns down the Galio. Sassy has to flash away an LGD. Try to pull the trigger on Pays and can't bring him low. And the Avengers assemble. And now they can turn to Atakan. Big prize for JDG. How does this one start? So I think they just try to jump onto Pays. Steals the Grog. Jumps onto Shun. I don't actually know how valuable that is. Keeper's verdict. Knocks the engage away. And then Shun goes, cool, you burned absolutely everything onto me. Sassy does get on top of Pays, but it's not the full combo, right? And so Pays gets to ult, gets healed by the redemption. Saviour's forced to back away because the equalizer denies his entrance into the pit. YCX does a decent job just depth charging Scout to try and keep Savior alive. But Scout goes flashing to try and get on top of Savior. He buys a lot of time there to force Sassy to flash out at the back end of the well. But that was a weird old choice on ult targets by Climber and is rightly punished. Gold lead now non-existent. JDG happily back in this one. I've got Atakan. Got Feat of Strength. Still vaguely favouring LGD, but it's really not particularly extravagant, is it? A minute until Mountain Dragon, and that would be sole point for LGD. That would be a way back in. Hex Drinker picked up for Sassy. Hook into the public execution, depth charge. Run warp now coming on in. The equalizer back is pretty solid. Pace will featherstorm the wrong direction, but stays alive. Climber flashing out, having thrown down the cataclysm. They've killed off Xiaoshu 1-for-1 right now. Hook again. Ward's not great in that push. Savior on the other side, getting a lot of damage down on top of Scout and Shun. To the back, goes SUW. Gets the taunt. They do get Pace. Savior flashing over. It's stopped by the steadfast presence. Overload comes on through, and Sassy will Drake out. Sam Shun gets a stun in the wall. Triple kill to Scout. Finally falls, but Shun with some miracle work. I think it'll be a 5-for-4. Blood in the river. But it is JDG that climb out of the pile of corpses. I thought Savior had it, but an insane steadfast presence from Shun denies so much from Savior. And Scout just got to unleash. So the big thing here from LGD is they have control with the control wards over this river. That bush is so important to deny them a lot of vision. Climber does go down. Savior's not even here at the start. He's finally here now. He has to get a lot of damage. It's really onto Shun, who's body blocking a lot. XQW gets taken low. They do manage to blow up Pays. And Savior tries to flash to get the combo on Scout. And can't because of the steadfast presence. Sassy goes to get the kill onto Scout, but he goes golden. Shun stuns into the wall. Full combos to prevent Sassy from getting the last auto he'd require to get the kill. Really clutch stuff from the mid jungle of JDG. Because on the whole, I think LGD had the better angles in those fights. Exceptional button pressing from JDG though. Finds the needle in the haystack to get out of it. Keeper's verdict goes wide. Hook also goes wide. Control on the river. It's LGDs. They have largely been first in the river this series. JDG, however, on the retakes have been very strong. Shun in particular deserves a shout out for being really, really exceptional. 100% KP, only member on the field to not have died so far. Very good Poppy game. Yep, Tenchi agreed. Pulling over the wall. Quickness. Buy some time. Trying to battle dance out. Hero's entrance. Xiaoshu has to flash away. Big feather pull. Sassy now forced to back on the other side of Xiaoshu. On the wrong side of the Raptors, still fighting good flame spinner angle and rise. It's free firing. Saviors get a hold of at least one. Can't get Xiaoshu. And they just end up in the corridor on top of a barbecue. These cataclysms haven't been it. Yeah, kind of agree. LGD try to pounce. JDG have summoners and abilities to get out, and suddenly LGD are themselves caught in the trap. Well, look again. It's initially a good chunk. Xiaoshu down a half. Zhuo buys time with the quickness. YC stands the hook on a Xiaoshu, but they can't land the kill. The flash out denies the public execution. Now you've used public execution and Hero's entrance. Climber tries to do it himself on the other side. Has the cataclysm out to safety. But all the while, Savior just can't quite get the last auto off. The Scout's free firing on the side, and Sassy just doesn't have enough in the tank right now to kill off this giga-fed Rise, who's 2,500 gold up. Nothing really to fight for there, obviously. Baron has been picked up by JDG, worth noting. Over the wall. Climber, though, will buffer out with the flag and drag. Tier 2 gonna fall. Really a lot to be done there as LGD. Four-one push continues. Hook. Into the depth charge. That's pretty good. Joel going to defend. Keeper's verdict from Shun. Oh, he's been so good this game. When he's on, he's on. Thank you, Pika Pika, for the resub 4 months. Damn. We've really got you now. Thank you for coming and supporting us. It really does mean the world. Inhibitor down in mid lane. Dragon sporting soul point on the board for JDG. And LGD, I suppose, but really, by the look of that pathing, LGD are just saying that we're going to have to give this up. I want to try and take that skull grab. They're TPing on this. Climber's in danger. They can flash over the wall. The equalizer for the slow. JDG looking to get a kill on the jungle, potentially find what they need to end this game right here. Zhuo, pace, splitting targets. Looking at YCX. The taunt comes on through from the shield of round just to punch out. Zhuo looks for the quickness, can't quite find it. And JDG go looking for the quick killer. Can't do it. And that's actually going to leave LGD the opportunity to start up the dragon. JDG. That was too cute. They're going to lose the dragon for that. That's soul point to LGD. Smart from Savior there to go over the back of the wall to reset in case people are looking for the obvious options there. Thank you, by the way, Inky Blob, for joining us for the first time. Prime subbing as well. Welcome to the crew. It's a good time to be joining us here in LPL playoffs. Knight's rival stage, I suppose, is strictly the term for it. Post-regular season. 4 minutes until Sol. Minute and a half until Baron. Fighting over this tier 2 now. Equalizer coming on down. Who's verdict? Knocked one. Ah, but XQW buffers through with the Justice Punch. Unusual. I've seen that interaction before. Great commentary. Shame there's no official LPL stream anymore, but really appreciate you guys putting on a few times a week. Oh, of course, Inky Blob, honestly, we are here pretty much every day. There's maybe like a day a week where we're not, if that. It is an honor to be doing this for you guys, so really do appreciate the support. Thank you for coming and saying hi. Is Knight's Rivals in reference to the player night? I don't actually know, honestly. I can maybe go ask him. Maybe Iris will know. I can go ask her. Big engage from YCX, immediately punished, down for the count, but if the backside goes Sassy, who's CC'd, he's in a 1v4! Pace finally goes up into the sky, will get the exhaust put down on him, and Sassy is dead. The problem is on the other side, Scout has found and deleted Save Yet. He'll get a triple. He might be looking for a little bit more. Can he get the quadra? Scout gonna try and find a little bit more as the overloads come on in. Xiaoshu's the one that picks it up. Sassy survived, everyone else most certainly did not. Shun's going to be disappointed he finally didn't get involved with a kill. But I think he'll be happy enough with a Game 1 victory. LGD with some good all-ins early on in the game. But as the game has gone on, Scout and Shun have just team fought better. LGD's target selection, map location in terms of where they were picking fights. The terrain choices were poor. And JDG turn the screws in the mid and late stages to bring themselves a Game 1 victory. No way, J4. That's actually a fairly good question if you've not been paying attention. Listen to the Jayos first, and then I will answer for you.
联盟 敌军还有30秒到达战场，碾碎他们。
So, now that Jayos are done, let me elucidate on that a little bit here. It's a very valuable question, especially if you are a little new to the LPL or League of Legends in general. Welcome, glad to have you in here. But we are playing for the last slots in playoffs. So if you win, you are in playoffs. If you lose, you're done. And the teams that are in this play-in stage, which we kind of call the Knights rival stage for branding purposes, I suppose, is the bottom 4 teams from the upper group and the top 4 teams from the lower group. We're playing off against each other. This is the last of those series to go, with JDG against LGD. You're then knocked out from playoffs. The key with this as well is it means you could not then get more championship points to go towards Worlds as well. Obviously, you can't just win the split to get towards Worlds that way either. So your ability to go on to international competition matters on that front. Page gets flashed on. Get the mount up from YCX. Heals and Ghost Burns there. Nice little angle. With that level 1 mount up. Gets the additional summoner down. Worth noting, YCX again with the Aftershock. Punted out of the crash down. Well played from Jaw. Does actually deny the Aftershock. Level 2 still hit by Savior. And YCX, despite it could have been Sivir just ricocheting the wave down. Worth noting that somehow the lower group has the upper hand. 2-1 wins. Yes, indeed. I mean, EDG was perhaps not that surprising. Some of the others, yeah. A little bit wild, I'm not going to lie. NIP getting the win over FPX was a bit more dubious. 3-2 bot side. Jaw getting the headbutt back, but NY6 still had the aftershock. He's now pretty deep. Still has the heal to work with. Mid lane, we're looking. Win becomes lightning knock up. And the mid jungle, Shintao Annie will smash XQW, who flashed and still didn't manage to find a way to safety. Another headbutt pulse, shattering strike. Crash down onto Jaw. He's going to be forced to flash away. Back damage with the passive coming on through. Actually, all that plasma stack puts Pace in a difficult location. Saved with more HP to work with. No pots for Pace makes this one interesting. He's still level 2. They're both still level 2. Bot playing with fire here. Really been about top lane so far, has it? Xiaoshu's getting good early shove. His Renekton has been so strong this split. This matchup was near unplayable for Renekton before Yorick nerfs, but he isn't even that nerfed, so just Xiaoshu being a Renekton savant. I mean, very much true. I think at the minute, to be fair, Castle, Renekton does tend to get, at least from what I've seen, like a 5 or so CS lead and shove early on before the Yorick can get towards some levels and say a Trinity Force or whatever, and then things start rolling around. But I think on top of that, you're right. Xiaoshu is arguably the best Renekton in the league right now, which is crazy talk. But he is just so good at the champion. Yeah, there are definitely, if you land a lot of your morning mists, Renekton Q early on basically didn't clear ghouls. So if you land a lot of good morning mists and you get a lot of good graves, Xiaoshu goes in for a slide and just ends up eating an insane amount of damage from ghouls. Especially if you get early anti-heal. See Bramble Vest, and that makes things quite interesting. Normally I prefer steel caps early, but Bramble Vest, yeah, not bad. In fact, both have gone early anti-heal here. YCX flash, phase will spell shield, not needed. Though I do think it is more playable since the Yorick nerfs. I've seen a lot more Yoricks fumble or take too long to get online. And that Yorick isn't winning 1v2s at the minute. Climber slides away. Gets hold the Grom. Dominus hit. Dark Procession in comes Mom. Not Mom, more Maiden. Sassy, I think, might just be dead here. It's got Thorin's shield. Morning Mist. Shun's in a lot of danger here. Last strike's down. Good slide away. Xiaoxi looking to join with a really good angle. Flash for the dice. Goes over the wall. Last right. Xiaoxi and Sassy now trading coins out of the Dark Procession. And he's getting sucked up by the Maiden. Oh, it was a gorgeous angle from Xiaoxi, but Shun is late on the flash. And 2 kills go the way of the Yorick early. Yeesh. The problem was Sassy did drop a lot of that wave to make that play happen. So the gold lead is still actually nominally Renekton's, but a couple kills going the way of the Yorick is a big, big deal. Nice angle from Climber to say, actually, you're here by yourself. We can punish this. So Xiaoshu sees the angle. Dice is over the Dark Procession and says, okay, I'm now not trapped in here. It's a lot of damage down and Sassy left very low. I wonder whether Shun just needs to hold on to that one becomes lightning. Because Climber just then goes, yeah, I've got this angle. Knocks up the clone, Shun! Slices through the Maiden. Flash for that. Dice after. It was really nice from Xiaoxu, but then Sassy's flashed on top of Morning Mist. Gets trapped inside the Dark Possession. Not a lot you get to do there. Xiaoxu with all your cooldowns down.
给你来一片。
I mean, it'll still deny Cold and Meat healing, won't it? And its armor. So I'm fairly certain Bramble Vest's still pretty good into Yorick, because you want the armor and the anti-heal is still good to deflect Q healing, who will proc Bramble Vest by coming in with Slice and Dice and Qs anyway, no? Unless I've misunderstood how that interaction works, which is always possible. SQW coming on over. They'll spot the ward in here. Sure coming on out. Grubs. TP away from Annie. They've taken 2 and they're happy with it. That's correct. Okay. Especially because Saber's shutting out. Ah! Scout tried to find the angle with Tibbers. Couldn't quite get the stun. Two grubs went the way of JDG. They should have marked towards feats of strength, but they don't. That's weird. There we go. Flash on forwards. Force a flash out from the duel. Apologies, that's the way that happened. Pei's now sent to mid lane to be the wave clear machine. Look how much better this is now for Sassy than it was. Can actually get shoved on occasion. It's still down 20 CS. But the 2 kills mean that losing that wave on the turret really doesn't matter as much. JDG collapse on the second objective. We'll pick that one up as well. So they get early grubs and early dragon. What are we playing for next? It really is going to be a bit of a quieter time here as LG didn't actually pick up the last grub either, so it's just a single grub. Stood in the best saying, why is it still saying grubs up? I realized because that last grub hasn't actually been picked up. Huh. Okay. Trinity Force now done. Full climber. It's going to be a quieter period here. JDG happy enough being up 1,000 or so goals. Sassy, Dark Possession, but Xiaoxu saves the dice to get on through it. Shun also coming on up. Dominus with pop for that. Xiaoxu going to use the opportunity to try and kill the Maiden. Yeah, will do. Good work from Xiaoxu. Worth it. That's going to put the Maiden on a very long cooldown. Early on as well, no cooldown to be seen. Climber will pick up that remaining grub. Ta-da! Wind becomes lightning. Jump over the wall, headbutt, pulverize, somewhat interrupted by the shattering strike. That was actually very clean from YCX. He interrupts the pulverize, so he actually gets headbutted to safety. He'd been a very dead rel otherwise. XQW needs to be a bit wary here. Zoned off this turret. I'm going to come over and potentially contest this. Weaver's wall. Can't pin anyone up. XQW. That's a bit much. Still lands the seismic shove. Turn around with a Mangeek Storm. Gets a kill for Savior. Flash to the backside. Should with the Crescent Guard rolling. Does manage to not pick up the rep buff. Is now in a 1v3. Will likely die. And a 5th kill in the game for LGD. Still, JDG did get the first of the kills there. So they get the mark towards a feat strength, but give up a couple extra kills. Oops. Actually, no, it is LGD who picked it up. I do apologize. That makes much more sense. Yeah, that one was a bit much from JDG. Had the lane prior, but not the members, and weren't respectful of the double global between Savior and XQW, who can, in fact, collapse really quickly. We said they could. We said, actually, come mid-game, they'd be in a very good position for that. We'll have a look again. Scouts only here now. They try to punish XQW, who does get stunned, but gets a flash out to safety, and then it's a good seismic shove, and the Magna Storm is excellent. The pulverize is fine, but takes just a little bit too long to get the kill. Onto XQW, and Shun ends up trading his life for it. Burn claims the last of those minions. Courtesy of a Molten Shield. Bit of Thorn's work. Mild gold lead to JDG. Again, we were just chatting, look. LGD come online once those first items start coming on through. Once level 11 comes on in. Double Trinity full spike is pretty huge. Savior, Kraken Slayer. And supercharger forwards. Pays trades well there with the boomerang blade and the ricochets though, so Savior ends up getting on the wrong end of that trade a little. Looking for something here. Flash for the knock up on the cyclone. Pays gets to back away, has the on the hunt roll. I think Shun looking to turn around. Still another turn around angle potentially in. Gets the ult off Jaw and Pays. Topside Sassy in danger. Flash on forwards looking for the Q healing, but the Bramble Vest doesn't matter. Dice is away, will die. But it's the wave denied. And a solo kill. For Xiaoshu. The tower has to return the favor for Sassy still. 3-1 is the Yorick. Don't know how clean that'll be in the grand scheme of things, denying the wave. Probably means JDG will get a hold of this Herald, and therefore also the mark towards feat strength. But now all in on first turret to get those upgraded boots. Interrupts the TP. That's what happened with the Dark Possession. As does the play happening mid lane. That makes a lot more sense. And goes looking for the all-in. And goes 1 for 1. Can't quite get out. Didn't have the flash anymore, so ends up being an egg crocodile. Still up nearly 1,000 gold. Scout gets the turret as well. So that is now feature strength for JDG into the stun. Onto Sassy, who eats a lot of damage. Upgraded boots secured. Joe in the backside looking for a headbutt angle. Weaver's wall. Breakable will buy some time, but that's just a massive spin from YCX who goes down. Xiaoshu getting a lot of damage. Massive heal. Doesn't die till just now. Sivir with the double kill. Saving needs to try and supercharge right into the wind becomes lightning. And a charge that is so very audacious. To make that a 3 for 1, Xiaoshu gladly trades his life there. Another wave being denied topside puts the screws on in terms of the CS discrepancy. Herald down as well for another turret. And JDG just explodes. They found themselves with a mighty gold lead. Will Herald out to something resembling safety. Civet needs to be a little wary here. Battle Herald for damage on Grob. Hell yeah. At this point, Shun's got his 3 Talon Strike stacked. And finds a lot of damage as Y6 goes over and gets interrupted before he gets a good combo because he has 3 Talon Strike. Savior at least gets 1. But unfortunately can't find his way out. Man, Xiaoshu is so strong though right now. Up 40 CS, 1,000 gold. The other big issue is Pays is very, very scary on the Civet. Well ahead of curve versus this Kai'Sa, who's also down 40 CS. Weaver's Wall's not been great this game. Yeah, they had the one in the jungle that went their way, but it didn't feel like it was particularly executed well. XQW is a Taliyah player, so we hold to the standard of, like, you should be able to hit your R button correctly. Sassy, bonking on Scout. Doesn't have that much mana, can still stun. You have to run away here with the Molten Shield. Sassy down to 10%. Climber. Gonna go for this invade. I don't know how easy this is gonna be. Keep his wall up. Keep his not keep his Killer Instinct. Still got Poppy on the brain from last game. I think from this game state, you have to favour JDG. 2 items on the Civet. So we just get more resources on the map. Proving a touch difficult. Shojin done now for this. Renekton as well. None of that Sundered Sky nonsense. Wants as much upfront damage as he can get. As many abilities as he can get as well. That's a lot of ability haste. Toga, I see the compliment. Two whole messages. You know what, Toga? I'm gonna hold on it because we've got a Hex Dragon coming, but I've seen it. Someone may need to remind me, but I've seen it. Kind of want to wait until after the dragon / little section here. I think we're about to experience, as they say, violence. Going on Xiaoshu. Gets Conqueror stacked. Chunk onto Sassy. Shojin comes on down. Dices through. Dominus. Culls the Meek. And Xiaoshu is dead. Now there is teleport available. Xiaoshu might be in danger to Savior here. Can look for it, but now they know that the Kai'Sa's not there. They can start a Vatican. Xiaoshu trying to dice away. Oh, Savior! Flashes on forwards with the Killer Instinct and the use of the Acathian Rain. Pei's going to be forced to ult away as well as the Weaver's Wall came on down. Ghost also comes on in, gets a decent chunk back onto XQW. Good spacing. All the while Atakan is still happening. They can't finish it up. It ends up being the 1-for-1. Savior now coming on in. Looks for the Acathian Rain. Good chunk on the Pei. Doesn't have that much to work with. Forced to reset. W spell shielded. Gives himself the heal. But now down to Atakan. Play TP's come in. 5,000 HP. It's a flip. Civ is not there. Kai'Sa's not there. Sure goes on top of YCX. Is going to be left pretty low. Forced to flash up. That's Atakan to LGD. Oh no. That's unfortunate. Hey, Mecha. I'm hoping we get a replay there, because we didn't see what was happening around the Atakan to lead that one up, because JDG, with Kai'Sa bot side, surely had a 4v3 around Atakan. How did it end up like this? Okay, so Savior was in base and goes mid. Back to live we need to go, though. Knockup's coming on through. Scout low, but healed up by the Redemption. Climber needs to get over the wall and does so. YCX desperately low. They lose Climber. Xiaoshu trading on the other side. The Dominus there. Looking to get a lot of damage. So many cooldowns. Savior gets a hold of the Alistair, but XQW is eaten by the Crocodile. It's primeval stuff. Another Culver being sold by day. Shojin value is unreal. And Xiaoshu just unloads in the backline. Scout will disintegrate his opposite number. And the Hex Dragon is secured. Xiaoshu's Renekton, folks. Starts with people looking for the picks. YCX misses his Shattering Strike. They still manage to find all in, but can't blow up Scout. The Redemption heal is enough, and now they are way too deep, and YCX on the retreat comes on through. Wants Xiaoshu on this flank in a second here as well. It's going to get the Dominus and get obscene value. Savior gets one, but it just puts him in range for another Xiaoshu combo. He's gone. Lack Cleaver and Shojin, so as long as he is automing, as long as he's pressing abilities, the cooldowns are so damn short. Yeah, Xiaoshu's Renekton in particular is god tier. Up 40 CS. Yep. Hex Dragon again doesn't deny the point that JDG tried to play a little bit too eagerly around bot lane and mid lane and Atakan simultaneously. End up kind of biting off more than they could chew and are deservedly punished. Engage. YCX crash down away. Scout looking for some damage back. This is actually a very good angle initially from the side of LGD. As Savior gets into the backside, takes out the Civet. Will be traded back for it. Scout low. In fact, just about surviving. XQW forcing a number of the members away. The problem is Scout just gets to thwack a few people at the back end of it. Xiaoshu mid lane. AD carries are the ones that end up trading their lives. YCX now very deep and up a creek, but Jewel going to get jumped by XQW with the Weaver's Wall. Will likely die here. And that's the extra member. Additional global buy some time. Sassy will defend themselves with the Dark Possession. Does end up being a 2-for-1 there for LGD. Doesn't lead to Baron. Doesn't really lead to anything, honestly. But hey, a couple extra kills, no bad thing. Savior now. 6 kills. Gold is back to nearly even between the AD carries. Got 3 items. Despite being down 60 CS, by the way. Power of shutdowns, folks. Solo caster, yeah, Alex's voice is a bit fried from yesterday. So he's taking the day off. Very understandable. I've been away at Leagues Disrupt for NLC. Flash. Incinerate. Knock up. Good engage. Climber survives. Gets the blast cone away. He's now down to 10%. There's no camps, really. They're starting it up. Hex gates potentially allow an angle back in. Over the wall with the Hex gates. YCX looking for an angle. Jaw down to half HP. Xiaoshu spotted out on the flank, but still an unreal threat right now. YCX unspotted. Pays in danger. Flashes away, but there's the engage. Shun trying to turn that one around and keep Pays alive. They can't do. XQW helps pick it up for Sivir. As Xavier gets to at least a problem, he's dead as well. 80 carries traded. Xiaoshu on the backside. Can't quite kill Y6, but burns the flash. Looking for some more value. The rest of the fight is gone. LGD's way to collapse from the globals. And now they're the ones on top of this Baron. Reset from Talia, who has to teleport. Xiaoshu has to 1v3. And Short being low and YCX is engaged. Makes this a Baron for LGD. Oh dear. Xiaoshu's going to get wave shoved in mid and then maybe look to fight around this dragon that's spawning now. Maybe we just do it all over again around the Hex Dragon without the flank angle. YCX with a really important pickup. You see that JDG's comp looks a lot less dangerous without Xiaoshu absolutely terrorizing the backline. And with Pays dead. Just starts this play. Half HP. They don't have wards on YCX. So he gets to jump onto Pays, who does flash out, but there is an angle for Xavier to ult in. Shun tries to flash engage, but can't peel well enough. Shun gets shunted away. Flash from XQW. And Sassy gets to walk on forward. Sure, flashing for the pulverize that he misses, by the way. Which means that XQW just gets to threaded volley for more. Dragon's up. That's actually going to be soul point for JDG, who are much more interested in getting towers right now. They'll give up soul point for it. But they'll pick up the standing gold and get a significant gold lead now. By the way, this Kai'Sa is now 1,000 gold up. Nearly at a death cap, by the way. Nearly at GA. With Shun. 3 items for Sivir. Got the Flicker Blades. Being able to cycle through abilities as fast as you damn well can is going to be very, very important in this game. I feel like Hourglass would have been better choice than Deathcap. Yeah, generally speaking, I'm not going to lie. Void Staff is more valuable on Kai'Sa anyway because she wants the penetration. Her AP's getting aren't actually that fantastic. If you want damage, Void Staff, guys, or I would have said Crippling, but Crippling's just kind of been nerfed into the dirt. Or Zonya's, as you're right. Utility on it is just better. Deathcap done nonetheless. Question we now ask, can Sivir survive the engage? If she does, JDG are fine. If not, something of an inversion from last game where LGD had the good start and then things fell apart. This time around, LGD were getting diffed in terms of the CS leads in bot and top in particular. The team fights have been trickier. We did kind of say from draft, like, look, So you start getting 2-3 items on some of these champions. Harder to manage. Sassy now actually very problematically. Back to nearly even. Savior have any pentas? I can see the angle. I can too. I think if it starts off particularly with getting that kill on the Sivir and dancing away from the rest. I'll cleanse up. Blood Ladder's Curse done. 4 Scout for a bit more pen. I don't know whether that was going to be too little too late. See. 1.5 until Hex Salt. That's JDG's angle back in, honestly. Xiaoshu being Kyler around by the Ryalize. I think Xiaoshu's going to have his Sterax procs here. Getting TP'd on. Gets the Dominus angle. It's 4 people in, though. He's just dead. Well. The collapse has come on in. Teleport from Sassy. It's the only thing extra burned. Xiaoshu, the power of this Renekton is beginning to dwindle. It's not really been his fault this game, but that's an unfortunate moment. And that's now going to give Yorick free time to shove a lane. JDG don't have to take this dragon. They can afford to give it up. It'll be second for LGD. I just don't know whether leaving the game to scale is a win con. They've got wards behind for the teleport. Thank you very much for that one, observers. Xiaoshu now picking up the Spectres. Carl needs some defensive tools. Can TP behind. We'll have Dominus. We'll have Flash. Collapse onto Joe's. Left alone. We'll have Bud out vaguely. Does heal to sidestep the seismic shove. Dragon started. TP angle available. They're pinging for Baron. JDG more interested in playing for that one. Couldn't really get into the river to contest in time. Weaver's Wall. Splits one off. XQW hit by the wind becoming lightning. Wants draw here. He potentially got a flash angle, I'm just saying. Didn't have any vision there, but look, my goat vampire would have flashed that wall. He would have. He would have died for it. He would have laughed at it, but he would have flashed it. You're going to cleanse off the spellbook. At this stage, spellbook becomes increasingly valuable for your supports. Finds raw heal, pays. Does get hit by that W, the Void Seeker. Looking for an engage on forwards. There's a lot of damage onto YCX, who gets onto Pace, who just gets the glance away. Got the on the hunt rolling. In goes Duo. XQW forced to back on out. They've killed off Sassy as well. And Pace survives the engage. We said it was key. And they got what they need to pick up the Baron. Still 3 members available. It's the damaging members. Weaver's Wall, Killer Instinct. There's a world where you can contest. Is the poke going to be scary enough? They're just going to give it up. Win condition unlocked. Pace survives the team fight. Have a look at the replay. Because it starts a little bit awkwardly because they land the W onto Pace and you think, maybe there's an angle here. Shun, you'll note, had the 3 talent strikes all ready to go though. It means YCX tries to get on top of Pace, who's really swift on the flash. It's just a little bit too obvious. Xavier never finds the angle that pros the Killer Instinct button. XQW never finds the Weaver's Wall angle. Now Baron is JDG's will finally get this tier 1. Has been haunting them all game. It's only their 3rd turret in the game. 38 minutes deep, guys. "38 minutes deep." Minute till Soul. That's going to be where this is decided, isn't it? Probably. Thornmail done for Sassy. Sonya's done. Alongside Oblivion Orb for XQW. Void Stab for Savior. That is a full build Kai'Sa, folks. Or Malmortius for Pace. That's a full build Sivir, folks. Xiaoshu? Oh, baby! He wants this. How much does he want it? Oh, kill off the Maiden, actually. How much does that matter in a team fight? I think I'd rather have Dominus. I'm not going to lie to you. Still, forces LGD to kind of reset awkwardly. They've still got better control of the river. They've had better control over a lot of these objectives, honestly, this series. JDG have been on the retake the pit angle. Scout. Off vision. Nose climbers there. Eyes on that. Scout could really deny that engage. Here we go. Stun comes on forwards. Incinerate, Disintegrate doesn't really do all that much damage. And he's not exactly the highest scaling champion. Weaver's Wall splits the pit. Shun still in here. Dragon going down low. 5 seconds on Dominus. That'll be a big break point. Annie still denying the engage. And Shun picks up the Dragon. Hexo for Jing Dong Gaming. And now Xiaoshu the backside snaps up the Iron Horse. Flashing. Killer Instinct will mean nothing. As XQW needs to go golden. Lightning continues to fly. Scout can't get the kill. Save you on next to OEP. But Tibbers smacks down Kai'Sa. Tibbers healing. He's going to keep walking at Sassy. There's a stun. And Yorick crumbles. Hamlet can be quoted all you like. I think JDG are much more interested in the end of this play. Act 2 completes. It's full of twists and turns. But the climax of it all is JDG winning. Shun with a steady smite ski will get the Hexo. And Climber just could not get past the firewall. Scout with a wonderful bit of body blocking as the rest of the team falling in particular. Early kills on a Corki. Maybe that's your way to come back into this. LGD, roll the dice. One last time for our Giles.
敌军还有30秒到达战场，碾碎。
我们永恒不灭。
Theoretically won last time. I really should clarify. JDG are 2-0 up, but it hasn't been clean wins both times.
全军出击！
LGD always able to bring us to another here, theoretically. It's going to be the Spellbook Szechuan. We wondered would that be the case. Off the Trundle being in the game. No other crazy rune choices here. PTA on the Trumbull does like to do that. Auto Q auto will proc it. I do have a little bit of a worry about how much Paze is going to suffer this game theoretically. A lot of tools to make Nymaera's life very tricky. Has gone towards the cleanse as a result. Jora's gone very deep. Heal for heal. Flash now burned as well, but Gatling gun value is nasty. Ends up being the extra summoner there. Azure goes very deep. It's likely now. Level 2 rush. Actually, cleanse burned as the dazzle landed. He's going to get level 2 here. He's going to can step by as a level 2. Shield of Daybreak comes on for now. YCX without cooldown. Dazzle's still not there. The level 2 finally comes on to get the Shield of the Bastion. Looking for the Dazzle. Don't go get it. Oh, YCX flash is late. The Spirit has cultivated the equalizer on the ground from Savior. He's got the Gatling gun rolling, but no. 2 for 1. As JDG get away with the extra kill. Valkyrie burn ends up being just about enough. I thought Gatling gun might have done it there. Ooh, wow. Oh my god, he's gone! The electrocute and the twofold hex proccing at the same time. I wasn't respecting it. And that's why we've seen Aurora's punish Yone's once or twice. So this is the bot lane play. They're about to hit level 2, and Duo times it perfectly. Gets a Shield of Daybreak, and YCX is then in danger. Spirit of Cultivation available. Pace just out of range of the Dazzle. Flashes for the auto, gets it. And Savior does get the burn, but they don't have wards. Flashes the arc. So doesn't quite go down. To Pace, and at least Savior gets one more back. Has actually got more of the minions as well. Climber goes through mid. Does interrupt Scout across the Veil. Passive comes on down, but enough pots to be alright here. Spirit Cleave gives a bit of a shield back, and so will help get that shove for the Yone, who had a really rough first back. Pot sign, control wards nabbed. Helldivers ODST pass later. Ooh, I'm down. I need to go play for the ODST thing, so yeah, quite possible. I need to make sure I'm updated, actually. But I'm down to play. Cultivation of Spirit activated again. Really lean to all that much. It's an early lead to JDG, right? We are 3-1 here. He got the feat of warfare, courtesy of that solo kill in mid. Scout went looking, couldn't find it. Good chunk topside Shao. She's got level 6. Doesn't have much mana though. Just leave it at that. Sassy with the Wingborne Storm. Let's hope we can get that wave shove. She does get attacked by that Wingborne Storm. Turn back around, but there's the grass procs traded. Shield from the Iron Mantle. Oh, Fate sealed. Climber coming on up as well. Scout needs to be really aware. Does get across the veil and between worlds, and so will survive. No glacial prison available. Junk, XPW, just about getting some decent value back in. Scout, after the early solo kills, had a number of attention points put mid from the Sejuani. That hasn't led to a kill or anything. Has forced him back, hasn't been allowed to remain in control of the wave. Couple plates picked up for Climber. No started the grubs yet because they're not spawned now. There you have him. Are we going to see a fight over him? I think when you've got a Jax and a Nudir and a Yone in the game, grubs sound real good. Trundle as well, actually, for that matter. Chunk onto YCX originally. Lots of level 6s up and available. Eyes on the Cosmic Radiance. Our first one of the game. Climber looking for an angle to get across the wall there with the Arctic Assault. Will lose the Ice Armor. Risk of a Trundle ult. Heal there from YCX. Glacial Prison lands. For the follow-up, not fantastic. Flash away. Grubs being secured. XQW with the ult on top of him. Extended towards his teammates. Now getting it chunked out as the Arc of Ruin comes on down. Xiaoshu gets one. Scout gets another. And LGD tried to play it cute with the Cosmic Radiance. And the stars come out of alignment. Yet none of the grubs give up 3 kills. Oof. Xiaoshu's now in danger. Does have the flash. And a counter-strike. So gets out just fine. So initially, Zhou is buying time. And they're trying to find a way in. Sassy comes on top. Xiaoshu's keeping him close. There's a good glacial prison. And they try to play it out with a Fate Seal. It's a decent flash to stop Shun getting himself caught up. Gets the Cosmic Radiance, but then basically XQW has to rebind his soul. And so the value on that Cosmic Radiance is minimal. Whereas Scout finds an awesome Between Worlds. That was nasty stuff from Scout. He's not really been the main character this series. So I'll say the Rise game was good. The Aurora game is looking to be something out of the vintage draw, which is what we've been asking for from him for a little while. Yeah, positioning was good enough to deny LGD even when they did land some big ults. Dragon now spawning. Actually, it's been up for a while. It's not taken. I thought that'd be the second dragon. No, it's just the first one. 2 kills early on the Jax with 3 grubs. Ugh, not a fan. LGD may have just ended up putting a significant nail in their own coffin there. LGD in general have been playing for river retakes, really. Not the first setup. And don't get me wrong, they've got good ways to force their way into the river with Sejuani, with Yone, with Taric offering them protection on top of that. Udyr as well can find his way in, and that's all well and good. Joe's gonna find Climber, buy some time, turned around, Solar Flag, and force a cleanse on YCX, courtesy of the spellbook. Shun's also around. Climber just can't find what he's looking for, and I think Shun still looking to be A thorn in the back pocket. Pays is roaming. So is XQW. Pays, my guy. You knew they were there. Just about slides away with the untouchable Shadow. Has to burn the ultimate. Earns 2. Outplays it is the way I'll put it. Had to. It's a very bold roam out of mid. Dragon still up, not taken. Is now being started by Shim. Should be able to pick that one up. Looking to get on top of this turret. Good chunk from Scout. Got a lot of plates here, which is good for JDG. 3,000 gold, 3,500 gold. BW, misses his mortal steel. And now he is in danger. Gets a bit of a heal from YCX. Really is all that she wrote. Those late game heals do get very nasty from YCX if we can get through a few bravado procs. So, at this point, 2k lead for JDG. Let's look a little hit. First turret still to be played for. Pays needs to be a little bit wary. It's got flash, ult, cleanse, so a lot of tools to stay safe. Feels Eclipse times out. Scout's getting a lot of time topside with grubs. And JDG with grubs are always going to be a nightmare this game. Someone has to come and defend. I think Scout's going to stick for the turret. He does get it. His first turret secured. Fate sealed. Slowed by the weirding. Can still look to find the way out. Hit by the Glacial Prison. Needs to try and find a way between worlds. But I think is likely just dead and is enough summoners and bodies thrown at the Aurora to bring her low. 15 seconds on Herald. Has got teleport and has saved the ultimate. That's not true for LGD. I wonder whether the Scout is going to be happy enough to say, look, I've given my life for the turret, and I can TP back in with ult to play for that objective. 8 seconds for Scout. Then TP in. Jaw gets jumped on. Mortal Steel and some gleams will be dazzling enough. Solar Flare forced a flash out of YCX. We're back here. Remember, the Between World wasn't used by Scout. Lands the weirding. Can look to go Between Worlds. The Cosmic Radiance now coming on down for the damage. Good! Too late to save XQW. Little green foot went out of the fire into the frying pan. The Scout gets his vengeance. Permafrost Passive has gone on top of the side of Shun, who flashed away. He's got himself the subjugate rolling and saving even by Valkyrie. Fools can't find it. Zhuo landing the Shield of Daybreakers. Pays as the Archivore onto Sassy, who just got the solo kill. Will still die to the turret. And Pace trades back. There's not even a clean turret dive, so that'll be Herald to JDG. End up losing, what, 3 for 1 there? You count Scout, 3 for 2, and they get the Herald, and they get the turret. That one is gonna sting. That's the mid lane play. He went back to try and play it, didn't he? Yeah, and gets flashed on. Steps away, another turret dive comes on through. Cleanses enough with the slow. So it does end up being a 1-for-1. But hey, who's that really going to favor? Gold on Nymaera or gold on Udyr? Has actually gone Kraken Slayer Hurricane this game. I mean, you are into a lot of melees. I see the value in that sense. I do wonder about the safety. Counter-strike down. He's got a decent chunk on the climber who's taken low. Which actually will then leap strike out to safety. Sassy coming on in. Pays him but does not have the flash. Gets knocked up with the fate seal and dies because he burned all his summoners 1v1ing an Udyr. Corki gets that kill. Now Shun's in danger. Good damage from Scouts. Oh, what Aurora play! The Holy Grail! And there is no Holy Hand Grenade to bring that one down. Shun healing up so much, there's just no damage for Sassy! Shun just won't die! Subjugation Nation!
Red team has scored an
And somehow JDG come away only losing Pays! Look, Scout has been criticized relentlessly since summer playoffs, spring playoffs rather. And it was not good. There's the replay where Scout started with the solo kill. First pick Yone at 0, 3, and 2. Solo killed twice by Scout. And he has not had a good split, folks. But it does feel like once a series you get to see the vintage Scout that went so many MVPs in a row over the last couple years. Or maybe temporary. Scout has always had some class. And that, as they say, is permanent. Pace does end up going down. Doesn't have the summoners to work with and trapped against that wall will go down. But watch this re-engage from Scout here. Exceptional winning between worlds. Counter-strike. Goodbye. And then Sassy split up from the Google's right. I think I'm showing here. Surely. And just buys time for chomps and subjugates. Watch the timer on Trundle's ult. And it's up. Heal. Smite. Now. Oh, sure. Gets a redemption heal. It's going to be fine. Flash out from Climber. Shun in the backside. Fate Seal goes wide. They've already blown up the turret. He does manage to get the Cosmic Radiance down. Frost Scout will have a flash over. But between worlds! Oh, they just got killed for Bunny! Elmer Fudd understands, commiserates, but what's up, Doc? Shun has face checked to Corki and may just die. Oops. Yeah, no, Force Bomb still does things. Medjai's picked up for Scout now. Liandry's Bloodletter's upgraded sword, but he's not the Spell Slingers yet. But also Bloodletter's Curse, also an Oblivion Orb. This Aurora is such a problem. We'll come back to live. Sorry, not to live, to the replay. Sure ends up face checking, but by so much damn time, gets the redemption. They just can't kill him. And Shun just careens his way forward, throws down the frozen domain. And YCX gets blasted. And XQW just can't kill off this poor Aurora. Tries to flash to avoid, I don't actually know, maybe a spell from Aurora when she comes out of Permafrost. Over Eager Flash. That one was a bit much from Shun, who no longer has any resist. Just gets blasted. Not bad from Savior. Did need to get something back. He's actually only 400 gold behind here. Shutdown's been helpful. The problem is that the Nymaera is only part of the problem this game. 84% chance to win for JDG. Yep, I think that's probably fair. 8,000 gold lead. Pace sidesteps the Glacial Prison and then begins to transcend themselves. Taken low though, and again, there is no lifesteal in this build. Gonna start up. Atacant, regardless. Ults be damned. Savior, angle over the wall. climber. He's got to heal. Got to turn this around. They're baiting for the fight anyway. Sassy in the front line. Joy's going to be taken really low. All of their resists are being shredded. What a massive counter strike between worlds. Aurora again with massive damage. Fate Seal goes wide. And SQW falls. Xiaoxu with another leap strike. Another counter strike. Yunara free firing. As Paige trying to find an angle as Shun steps on forward with the subjugate rolling. Scalp with the weirding. Savior trying to trade. Does get a D to Falcon, but it's a triple kill for Paige. And they will ace LGD. Play around the resist shred on the Atacon well enough. I got worried, I won't lie. And 22 stacks on the Medjais. LGD, you have made games 1 and 2 close enough. This one, oh, it's just not bad, is it? Joe finds the angle over the wall. They spot him out too late. Goes in. Does dive for it, but it sets up for Xiaoxu to find the leap strike, counter strike combo. Flashed out of a lot of the damage. XQW gonna have his body rebound. Doesn't hit anyone with his Fate Seal. Goes down. Pays despite not having the ult, despite not having life. Still just gets the free fire for the majority of this fight. Scout goes across the fail. The pillar comes on down, and Savior ends up Valkyrieing into the Aurora. Just doesn't have the cooldown. Scout actually runs out of mana there. Doesn't really seem to matter, does it? Back to live. Minute on Dragon. Minute second on Dragon. I've got to get my denominations of units right. Solar Flare on Savior. Gets hit by the Between Worlds. Cosmic Radiance does come on through, buys a bit of time. Will not save his life. As Yunara again cultivates her spirit. A double for Pays. Scout on a flank angle. Will be going across the veil shortly, and I think dragging LGD with them. The knockup from the Mortal Steel is good. Pays looking for a quadra kill. Say it with me, chat. 4 down, 1 to go. Pays gets the quadra kill. Pays gets the quadra kill. The Scout goes, yeah, no, I won you this game. May have been a touch baited there by the Aurora. Pays is going to be very annoyed after that one. I take it all back. Scout's a scumbag. Don't like that player. Not had a good series. Not for that. How dare you? How dare you? I was ramping up. It starts with a very good Solar Flare combo, but they don't quite blow up Savior before the Cosmic Radiance triggers. So they go back across. He's still going to die here in the end. Pays gets that one. He's just bought time to get across there with the Untouchable Shadow. And he's transcending himself all the while. So very easy to get very good after Ruins. Kraken Slayer gets you a lot of auto uptime. In slow-mo. Why, Scout? He stops. He's giving it over. It's the twofold Hex pullback and the Leandri's burn. Oh, dear. Leandri's burn. Okay. He's interrupted. XQW has unbound his soul permanently. Shouldn't help him along to do that. Big pair of scissors and snip on that cord. Right, towards back we go. 12k goldie. I'm still amused about that pen steal. Ding Dong Gaming today, they are, in this game, correctly, they are all firing. 5,000 health to go on the Baron, and it will be taken in very short order. Auto 2 out of Smite with the chop will secure it. Xiaoxu got a 1v3. Himself 2 items. Oh, so the sky damage is pretty high. XQW finds some value. There's the Fate Seal. Redemption buys a lot of time for Xiaoxu, who hops away and flashes. In a 1 versus 4, they cannot kill Xiaoxu. He wants to go back in. Xiaoxu, stop it. Oh my god, he got the kill. Sun and Sky healing. It's ridiculous. Leap strikes out and Xiaoxu dances on their graves. It is a jig, and it's a merry one. And as they say, the jig is up for LGD. Their playoff dreams die here. Jing Dong Gaming, for all the flaws, for all the fumbles, for all the inconsistencies. Right now they matter not. Playoffs secured.